So I'm going to give you a tour of my hydroponics system here at Sunnydale Academy. This is my tank for water. Just an old bin I found in the warehouse. Cut a hole in the top. This is the return line, and this is the feed line, water line, which goes out into the greenhouse. The tank holds about 45 gallons. It's probably at about 30 right now. A lot of people will have air compressor like that one with a couple stones down in there bubbling, but I think that's probably enough air going in to the water, oxygen. I don't know, I might put it in later. Our water is very hard here. Generally tests out at about 9 pH, which is pretty high. So I have to change the pH all the time. Every day I check it. And then food-wise, this is what we put in. It's called Cocoa Tech by General Hydroponics. You put a tablespoon of that and a tablespoon of that per gallon, and I guess it feeds them. Still testing that out. This is what I use to get my pH levels right. What I had to do is our well water tests out at 9, a little bit higher, but our water, we're kind of hooked to a city water line also for part of the school, so I get water from there, put it in here, and that tests out at about 7.8, so it's easier to change. This is where I start my plants. In here, this is rock wool, the little green squares, and you just put the seeds right in there and close the top, and pretty soon you'll have little sprouts coming up. So we've got some oregano there and some basil. Down here we got some spinach, and I'm not sure what that last one is. We got 4 or 5 different kinds in here. I always keep a little bit of water in the tray, and the rock wool just sucks it up and keeps the seeds wet. Just yesterday and the day before, we took a whole bunch of stuff out of here, and we put it into the system. So now we're going to go out into the greenhouse, and this is our greenhouse. It's what we call our starter greenhouse. We've got these trays here, or the tables here, so that when in the spring, when we have a whole bunch of seedlings to go out in the greenhouse is outside, we can put them all out here. Boxes down on the end are all grow boxes that we put in, and after next week we're going to start planting just radishes and onions and whatever. We're going to try to get stuff to grow this winter. I put all those lights in up top this year, just to see what we can grow. This is kind of our experimental place. Here's some more lights, of course. Here's our hydroponic system, and we got some stuff that's not looking super healthy. These tomato plants, I just went out to the greenhouse last week or a couple weeks ago and just cut some suckers off, and I'm trying to get them to grow. These suckers here were quite big, but these suckers were really small, and they're probably twice the size already, so they're growing really well. This one here I just put in there yesterday, so we're just gonna see what I've got. Let's go down here a little bit, it's easier to see. What I did is I put this little piece of plastic down in there to kind of dam up the water, so that it puddles better there. If you look in here, you can just see it's just running by. It might be ½ inch deep, but up here I needed the water to come up to at least this area here so that it would touch the bottom of the net cup. until roots come out. And now you can see those roots starting to come out right there of these cucumber plants. So then you got to get the roots back in there. And then we've got all these strawberry plants in here, and we're just trying to get them to grow. These were all, we're out cultivating our strawberry patch out, you know, getting it into shape so that it's ready for next spring. And these were the sacrificed runners off the strawberry plant. So I'm like, well, let's just put them in here, see if they'll make it. So that's what we did. The ones up top are looking real well. And then we've got our lettuce, a couple different lettuces. Roots are getting pretty long. That's twice the size of yesterday. That's when I switched them over here, so they really are growing now. So yeah, that's kind of our system. It comes right here. So this is the return. This is the water pumping in. Goes up to the top, and I've just got a hole drilled in there so that it and then a hose hooked to the end, so it just, the hose is real short. It's probably, I don't know, that long or so. Then it just pushes water down, and I've got a 5-inch slope. Reason being is the strawberries up top, generally their root base gets really big, and so the 4-inch lines up top will be filled with strawberry roots, so it'll really slow the water down once they grow thick. So it's a 5-inch slope down. Back down this way, it's 20 feet long. And then once we get over here, it goes from 4-inch down to 3, and that's all you need for lettuces and kales and whatever, because their root base is not as big as a strawberry plant. So we've got just different things. I've got peas growing here. I've got a couple more peas coming. They're still inside. We've got cucumbers, and of course, you know, those all determined by how long the day is. Not so much the peas, but the cucumbers for sure. So I'm gonna have to get a light system. So this is what I'm playing around with right now for lights. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's I put it on hinges so I can pull it out, put it back in, so that I can work in there. Just stick a board under it or something to hold it up. We'll see. We do have heat in here. It already has frozen. I had to take out the cucumber plants and the tomato plants. I had to put those back inside one night. But now it's heated. I just hooked that up this week also. I've got it set at 50, but it's obviously quite warm in here. So that's our greenhouse. It does have double layer of plastic on the roof to hold some of the heat in. I do have to put another layer of plastic down on the end walls, hold some of that heat in. Let's go outside. It's probably about 40 degrees out right now outside. This is our outdoor area. We've got 10 greenhouses total. 4 or 5 of them down on the end there we don't use very much this past year. So we've got 10 greenhouses, like I said, and then we've got 5 acres of land outside that we use. That is all, it's not organic certified, but it's naturally grown certified. So, anyway, that is it.